Joining us now for the full hour, the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump. Mr. President, good to see you.
That was a very good job.
Oh, okay, so
You've done that before.
I have once in a while, but a number of years.
Thank you very much.
So, your whole family, you saw the Letitia James presser.
Terrible.
Okay. What was your reaction?
Well, she campaigned on it 4 years ago. It was a vicious campaign, and she just talked about Trump, and we're going to indict him, we're going to get him. She knew nothing about me. I never heard of her. But I saw this woman, I saw the statement she was putting out without knowing anything. And she said, we're going to get him. Her whole campaign was based on that. And then she came after us. We've been going over this for years. And I actually thought, because our values are really high, the company is great. I built a great company. You take places like this, so many other places that I have like this, frankly. I mean, just among the finest places anywhere in the world. I actually thought that they would never bring a case. And she brought it. And the reason I thought, because she didn't have a case, I was of the impression she wanted to settle. But I had a problem, because how do you pay something, even if it's a small amount of money, if you're not guilty? This was just a continuation of a witch hunt that began when I came down the escalator at Trump Tower with our, who would know, our great future First Lady, who's done a great job and people love her. But we came down the escalator and it started. But I'm so proud of what we did. We had the strongest border in the country. We had the biggest tax cuts and regulation cuts. We had the best employment ever in the country. We were energy independent. We did things that nobody ever thought possible. We would have been energy dominant throughout the world in a very short period of time, much larger than Russia, much larger than Saudi Arabia put together. We were all set. And then they came along and they just dismantled that. They wouldn't finish the wall. The wall was completed. The original section was completed. I said, let's do more. We did more. He could have had that finished in 3 weeks. And now you have millions and millions of people pouring through. We had the strongest border in history. And by the way, that included drugs, too. We had drugs down 19% from what they were the previous year and 20% from what they were that previous year. We were doing great, and now the drugs are pouring into our country at a level that nobody's seen. And the people, they're emptying out their prisons into the United States.
Let me go back to Letitia James. Did you ever in your life fill out a loan application running the Trump organization?
Well, you know, we make loans, but I have very little debt. You know,
here's what I want to tell you what you said today.
I might add one thing. They've demeaned me for years with this stuff. And now they find out I have very little debt, very, very little, a lot of cash. We have a great company, and we have among the best assets anywhere in the world. But I went through, they were demeaning me, you know, constantly, these people. There's something wrong with them. I really believe they hate our country.
I was told that in your financial statements, when you make a loan application, and you can confirm or if you know this or not know this, do you put in a caveat that actually says these are our valuations?
Yeah.
Because I don't know a lending institution, a bank, a financial institution that would lend money to anybody and just go by the borrower's estimation, evaluation of a particular property. So if you're buying a $100 million property and you're putting X, Y, and Z up for leverage, you estimate its value at this, they estimate it at this.
Right.
Don't they have a fiduciary responsibility before they give you that amount of money?
So what they do,
determine what the value is?
First of all, these are banks that have the best law firms in the world, the biggest and best and most powerful. They do their own work. They don't rely on us. But what they do is we have a disclaimer. And we put together, my people put it together. I would look at it, and it looked fine, but it's not overly important. What's important is the property. I have the best property. What happens, Sean, is we have a disclaimer right on the front. And it basically says, you know, get your own people. You're at your own risk. This was done by management. It wasn't done by, it was done by management. So don't rely on the statement that you're getting. Right. And by the way, it goes on for like a page and a half. It's a very big disclaimer. It's a very powerful disclaimer. It basically says to an institution, you're going to loan money. You have to go out and make sure that, you know, you get your own appraisers, your own lawyers, everything. These are banks that have the best lawyers in the world, Sean. This is the only case, by the way, that got paid back. Just so you know.
Paid back. Nobody got harmed.
I never got a default. No, I paid them back because we have a lot of cash. I paid them back. I paid many of them off. I have very little debt, unbelievably little debt.
You paid the loans off. So so there was no harm. No
bank, they didn't lose money.
So you told every institution what you believe the valuation is. They have a fiduciary responsibility before they give you $100 or $200 or $300 million to buy a property. they have that responsibility to come up with their own valuation because they've got their own bosses and shareholders that they have to answer to.
So they would look at a property like this. I don't even have a mortgage on this property. I don't have a mortgage on most of my properties. Right. You know, I used to read where I was overextended and he had so much money borrowed. And I'm saying, what are they talking about? And actually, the one good thing is people see what a great company I built. I built a great company, a powerful company, a company that's very lowly leveraged with among the best assets anywhere in the world. I mean, you look at this asset, she has this down at $75 million. I can tell you it's many times that number. She said, oh, he valued it at 75 or whatever it was, or she valued it at 75. What does Letitia James know? But if I were going, I don't have a mortgage on this property. If I was going to put a mortgage on this property, the institutions are going to be coming over. They're going to go through comparable properties all over Palm Beach or whatever it is, wherever it may be, Miami. We have them all over. We have tremendous properties. And again, we have very little debt. The debt we did have, it was paid current. The banks made a lot of money. She's trying to defend banks that got paid off. She's trying to defend banks that had unbelievable legal talent. I will tell you that. They're very good.
There's no loan that you can think of where they didn't do their own valuation, their own vetting, their own financial assessment. All right, let me move.
By the way, they have people in-house that do it too.
Right.
But you can't just say, you know, here's a financial statement. But what we do is, here's a financial statement, but be careful because it may not be accurate. It may be way off. I mean, we go, I think it's close to a page and a half of all of these things. Get your own people. Use your own appraisers. Use your own lawyers. Don't rely on us. And then she sued us. Now, again, I didn't think this would ever happen because they had no case. I met with them. I actually thought they wanted to settle, but I didn't want to settle because how can you, even if I paid a very small amount, you're sort of admitting guilt.
Did she offer you a settlement deal?
I could have said, in my opinion, I could have settled the case.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.